know you make your own films, and I think I saw somewhere that you made an adult film. Is that true?
Um, I made some adult films with a girlfriend I had for a while, but just for my own collection, not released commercially or anything.
Okay, well, let me ask you: when it comes to your asexuality, and you're working in the adult entertainment business,
Yeah.
how are you viewing this material? Did just because you almost seem like you have an interest in it, but not a sexual interest. Was it
Well,
funny to you, or
I always laugh and tell people I was one of the few people who would fast forward to the through the sex scenes to watch the talking scenes.
yeah?
And I
I
watch pornography and jack off and everything. I just like my mental state, I can't hold a relationship, so I just choose not to have sex with anyone. And I've never been really sexually motivated or anything, you know.
Right, but you did make these pornos. Was that her idea, or is that something you wanted to do?
Probably something I wanted to do, and she was just down to do it. And that was during my meth years, and we both partied on meth a lot.
Okay, so let's get back to you're working at this bookstore. How did that job come to an end, and where did you go after that?
Um, my roommate really wanted me to quit because he knew that's where I got hooked on meth, and that's where I was scoring meth and everything. And I quit, and I think it just it ended when I left San Diego. I think,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so when did you start getting into making your own films? I know I think you've been doing this probably since you were pretty young, but I mean, when you start, I mean, I know you're currently making these
Gone by the movies.
feature, yeah, feature length products. I think you call them.
Feature length video products, yeah, because the critics will shit all over me if I call them a movie. So,
Well, when did exactly did your focus turn to this?
like I say, it's something I always wanted to do. And then at some point, I inherited some money, and I think 2006, I made my first movie, which was called Punk versus Punk. And it was a documentary about the Southern California punk scene. And you can find that on my punk rock Roku channel, more punk rock Mormo Zine. It's called Punk versus Punk. It's on YouTube, but it's really hard to find on YouTube. And but it's on my Roku channel, and it was like a 45-minute documentary about the Southern California punk rock scene. That was my first one.
Did you get any bands that were notable?
I had let me JFA is probably the biggest star,
Hmm.
and which is Jodie Foster's Army, and I'm trying to think. I no, I've recorded Battalion of Saints, but they weren't in the documentary. I think JFA was basically the star of Punk versus Punk.
Hmm.
They were a
Okay,
skate punk band.
so you start doing these, and are you selling them? I guess the sort of like the zine circuit, maybe. Is that how your mailing order is coming in, or
I sold them at shows, and like my sales approach was that I was a big fat crazy guy, and like give me $1 or shit's gonna get crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's how I sold it back then. One of my partners had was like an artist and an eccentric, and he was selling it for like $10 when I was selling it for $1. But he, like I say, he was an artist and an eccentric and could charge more for it. And then my other partner ended up getting us a distribution deal through a company out of San Francisco, and that got us distributed all over the country. And I think that issue is still in some collections of like libraries and stuff.